Almost there. All right. Readjust. I feel like my mat moves around during class. Go ahead and make your way to your mats. Taking a nice, comfortable, seated position. And let's go ahead and just wake up the spine a little bit so we can sit in breath work. Exhale, arching the back. Inhale, drawing that chest forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Just a little seated cat and cow. And if it feels good to you, go ahead and just make some gentle circles. Nice and slow. Moving with the breath. And if you took one direction, take the other. And as you make your way back to neutral spine, go ahead and move any flesh out from under the sit bones. Let's get really grounded here through the hips. Just allowing those knees to fall towards the floor. Bring the back of your hands to your knees. Allowing your eyes to close, shoulders drop down, away from the ears. Drawing that chest slightly forward. And reaching the crown up towards the sky. Just feeling into your posture here. How does your spine feel today? How does your neck feel? How do your shoulders feel? How do your hips feel? Just bringing awareness into them. And then go ahead, eyes open or closed, bring one hand to the belly. We're going to do a 3-part breath. So I added this in last night, and I'll be adding this in here and there just for practice. You can do this at any point throughout the day to increase lung capacity, to help with circulation. So exhale all your air. Inhale into the belly. Touching the ribs, inhale into the ribs. And all the way into the chest. Hold. Sip in a little more air. Hold. And exhale, belly. Rib cage. Chest. This might feel a little awkward at first, but let's do a few rounds. Inhale, belly, rib cage, chest, hold. Sip in some more air, hold. Exhale, belly, rib cage, chest. Again, belly, rib cage, chest. Inhale more. Exhale, belly, rib cage, chest. Try a couple rounds without touching belly, rib cage, chest. Hold. Inhale, hold, and exhale, belly, rib cage, chest. And allowing your breath to return to a more natural state in and out through the nose, if that's available to you today. Once you've got a nice rhythm there, let's go ahead and inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Center, left. A couple more times. Seeing if you can go just a little bit deeper with each rotation. Inhale, center. Let's go ahead and start waking up the hips, back of the legs, drawing those feet out long. If you have a strap, I'm a big fan of props. Go ahead and strap the balls of those feet. It'll just allow other areas of your body, as I jingle around, other areas of your body to relax while we come into the stretch. If not, just a forward fold is great. Flexing those feet strongly. Inhale, straightening the spine. Exhale, beginning to bend the elbows and leading with the chest. And you may not come very far today or first thing in the morning, just to show you. And if you're more flexible, you may. It's more important that you keep a straight spine. You're leading with the chest. You have to start to hunch to get there. Come back out, lead with the chest. Breathing into the backs of the legs, relaxing those shoulders down away from the ears. Pressing your quadricep muscles down into the earth as you pull those toes back towards your nose. Keep drawing that chest forward. Keep drawing those shoulder blades together and down on the back. The tops of your shoulders, your trapezoids are relaxed. Biceps are basically relaxed, just holding with the hands. It's more gravity doing the work. I'm pulling a little bit, but not much. If you keep pushing down with those thighs and keep flexing those toes back towards your body, you should be getting a pretty good stretch through the back of the hamstrings, maybe even into the calves, maybe into the hips. And inhale up, release. Let's do one at a time, bringing that left foot in to the thigh. Picking the ball of that right foot All the rules still apply. Chest forward, relaxing the shoulders down, squeezing the blades together on the back. Keep working towards pointing that big toe straight up. And we're breathing here into the back of the leg. See if we can find some release. Maybe you begin to fold a little further forward, still drawing with that chest. And inhale up, release, switch legs. Big toe up towards the sky. Leading with that chest. Squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back. Shoulders drop down, away from the ears. Is that big toe still pointing up, or are you still pressing the quad towards the earth? Breathing here. Keep checking yourself. Keep running through the cues. I constantly have to check myself because the minute I get it all there, something starts to relax or to give way, to forget what it's supposed to be doing. And inhale up, release. Go ahead and take those legs nice and wide into a straddle. You might grab on, first remove a little flesh, but you might grab onto the thigh and just kind of encourage a slight inward rotation. Do that for both legs. From there, maybe you can split a tiny bit more. Pressing into the hands, drawing that chest forward, shoulders down, shoulder blades together on the back. And as you walk forward, still leading with that chest. Check your toes. Are they pointed up towards the ceiling? Are you pressing your quads down towards the mat? Are you breathing? And inhale, press up. So for anyone who doesn't have blocks at all, I'm truly sorry, but I'm going to do a couple poses with blocks here. You could take child's pose. You could do a version of the pose without the blocks. Probably hold it not quite as long as we're going to hold it supported, but go ahead and grab your blocks. Putting one on the lowest level. Putting one perpendicular to the mat, like pretty much on the second level. This will be the highest level. That's most likely a good place to start. Sitting on your mat, you're going to line up the bottom of that block basically with the bottom of your shoulder blades. Maybe a tiny bit lower. You should feel supported. your head on the other block. Now let those shoulders open. And then if it's comfortable and you want to go a little deeper, you can stretch those legs out long. This here in fish, as we take a few more breaths, is a great opportunity to really breathe into that rib cage. So as we practice 3-part breaths, with the block pressed against the back of our rib cage and our front rib cage exposed, this is such a beautiful opportunity to really feel what it feels like to expand into that area. See if you can focus on just rib cage breathing for the next few breaths. So none into your chest, none into your belly, just into the rib cage. Go ahead and bring the soles of your feet to the mat. You're going to roll onto one side to remove the blocks. One more supported pose while we're here. We're going to take a supported bridge. I would choose either the medium, or if you're pretty open, you could go for the tall supported bridge. If you're taking an unsupported version, I would just take it 2 or 3 times, pressing up into the bridge and holding. You can interlace the fingers. Breathe for about 5 breaths, release, and do another round. For the supported, go ahead and begin to press up, placing that block on the sacrum. Now for the next few breaths, I encourage you to take this pose as an opportunity to breathe deeply into the belly. This time, instead of breathing into the rib cage at all or the chest, just down into the belly, as low as you can and exhale. On your next inhale, pressing into those feet, lifting the hips up and off the block if you took the block version. And exhale, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Taking those knees, drawing them in towards the chest, give them a little hug. Maybe rock your hips from side to side. Maybe make a couple little circles. Taking your time with this, I know moving back and forth from a back bend into a fold, your counter poses. So just taking your time with moving into varying counter poses. We're going to make our way back up to seated. If it feels good to you, maybe you roll a few times back and forth. Getting a little back massage before coming up to seated. We're going to get a little bit into some hips now. So go ahead and take that left foot across over to the right side. Tracking that knee out in front. And then bringing that right foot over, coming to the side of the foot. Again, we're moving towards the knees stacked, but first thing in the morning, especially, that may not be the case. Go ahead and flex your feet. And this might be a pretty decent stretch already. That's kind of where I'm at this morning. You might support yourself a little bit through the back to help get a nice straighter spine. Just take your time to move into the hips here. We will hold it for a few minutes, a couple minutes. Maybe you allow your eyes to close. Work on allowing your jaw and forehead to relax. If you have found a little space as you begin to warm up, maybe you inch those knees a little bit closer to stacking. Maybe you don't. Still flexing those feet, still relaxing through the jaw and forehead. On your next inhale, pressing up to seated. Please take your time to unwind as we go deeper into the stretches. It's really important that our body has time to transition. it to the other side. Getting those feet flexed from there, a nice straight spine. And from there you might begin to fold, maybe you don't. Are you breathing here? I know it's really easy to lose track of our breath, especially when we find ourselves in uncomfortable poses or the poses where our greatest amount of work is to be done. Inhale, pressing up through center, uncrossing those legs. Maybe you shake them out. Go ahead and make your way from there onto your hands and knees. Bring the big toes together, knees nice and wide, pressing back, child's pose. Inhale up through center, knees stacked under hips. Bringing the elbows to the mat and clasping the arms, dropping your chest towards the mat. Inhale, center, up onto your hands and knees. Tucking those toes under, hips come up and back. Wasting no time here. Inhale that right leg up. Exhale, step it through. From here, bringing that left knee, that back knee onto the mat and shimmying that right foot out to the right side. Pressing the hips towards the mat here, beginning to open through the hips. Maybe you begin to roll on the outside edge of that right foot. Sometimes I like to grab onto the ankle and use my elbow to just encourage it out towards the side. Maybe you're working here. Maybe you can come down onto that left elbow. you came down onto the elbow, go ahead and begin to press back up. You're going to shimmy that right foot back towards the center, bending back into that knee, and shifting the hips back and forward. Exhale back, inhale forward. And on your next exhale, remaining back, letting the front toes come up, heels on the mat, beginning to straighten into that leg. You may need to shimmy it forward a little bit more to keep your hips stacked over your knee. Working towards pointing that big toe up towards the ceiling, while working towards straightening that leg. If you have your blocks close still, this could be a nice time to put your hands up on blocks. Continuing to lead with the chest as much as you can in pretty much all our folds. Sometimes we relax into them, but mostly we want to keep a nice straight spine. Inhale forward, releasing those blocks, bringing the hands to the mat, tucking those back toes under, pressing the hips up and back to release that right leg. Maybe press back for just a breath or two into down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step through. Shimmy forward, dropping that right knee to the mat. Taking a moment just to press the hips towards the mat. Opening up through the front of the thigh into the hip flexor. Go ahead and shimmy that left leg out to the edge of the mat. Left hand comes on the inside. Maybe you begin to work that knee open. Sometimes a little bit of movement helps in the hips. Maybe you come down onto an elbow, maybe you don't. If you came down onto the elbow, go ahead and begin to press back up. Shimmying that foot back through center. We're just going to come forwards and backwards a few times. On an exhale, staying back. Maybe you grab those blocks. Maybe you need to inch that front foot forward a little bit more to keep those hips over the knee. Working that big toe towards facing straight up. Nice straight spine. pressing here into the back of the leg, relaxing through the face, through the jaw, deep breaths, in and out. Shimming that heel back a little bit if you had to take it forward. And coming forward into Asana. Go ahead and press those hips towards the mat. Just for a breath or two more. Removing the blocks, framing that front foot, tucking those back toes under, pressing up, and releasing down dog. Go ahead and bring your knees to the mat, knees together this time, if that's available to you, pressing the hips back to the heels. Kneeling forward onto your hands and knees before making your way all the way onto your back. As you come down onto your back, take a moment to roll down one vertebra at a time. Crossing that left ankle over the right knee, inhaling up, figure four. Go ahead and grab behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Continuing to draw that ankle in, that whole shin in, that ankle in towards the chest. Flexing that top foot strongly. Seeing if you can really target, really get into the back of the hip there. And release, switch the cross. And release. Go ahead and pretty much out of time. So go ahead and take your feet wide as the mat. Knees bent, drop both knees to one side. Just a very gentle supine twist. Inhale through center, exhale over to the other side. And once you've done this a couple times, each way, coming back to center. Drawing those legs out long, arms out beside you. Maybe you tuck those shoulder blades under. And just relaxing down into Shavasana. And as we take just a minute or two here, arms out long overhead. Maybe, if you want to. And then go ahead and bend at the knees. Making your way onto your side. Taking just a breath or two in fetal before pressing yourself up to seated. And as we meet back in seated, I'm just thanking our bodies and our minds for making the effort to show up for ourselves on our mat, for our breath, for our growth. Thank you. I'm so grateful.